Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode here on the SMP. Last episode I released the rest of my footage from day 1, so you saw me make this big mangrove tree with a little hut nestled in the branches and this fishing dock because, well, we like to fish here on the server. We got a couple fishing huts dotted around this lake, pond, river, ocean, I don't know what you want to call it, but we all kind of settled around here. But in this episode, I don't think I want to do anything around this place. I think we want to head over to the village that we found back in day 1. As you guys know, I have a lot I want to build this season. There's a pretty big build that I have in mind, and for that big build we're going to need quite a few resources. So before we get started on anything like that, I think we need to set up a nice villager trading hall. Now, to set up a nice villager trading hall, you first need villagers, which I do have a couple of, but not too many. So I think we're going to need a villager breeder first. And this arguably can be called a villager breeder, because if you move the villagers out once they have spawned in, then you can kind of get more in, because there's plenty of beds, there's food that I can throw in here. Technically this works, but it's really bad, because moving villagers is not something anybody wants to do, and throwing food in is a little bit annoying to do, especially once you're kind of building and doing other things. You don't want to have to come back here and throw more wheat in here. So we're going to set up a better villager breeder today, I think. Something that's a bit more automatic, something a little bit more permanent. I don't think I'm going to build another villager breeder after this, and it should be a bit quicker too in terms of producing villagers. So we'll set that up, I think, above this one, maybe over there though somewhere. I think that's pretty much all there is to say about this until we get it finished. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, there's just one last thing I want to add. There's an idea that I saw somewhere, and I don't remember exactly where, but I thought it was a pretty good idea. Adding a little sign on each of your redstone projects to give credit to whoever actually invented this. Logical Geek Boy was the person who came up with this design, and I think it is a really good villager breeder design. I used to use design by Impulse SV, but it kind of kept breaking with every update, so I had to go back and change it, and that was a whole process. This seems to be a lot more robust. I haven't had to change this in like years, so it seems to be working pretty well. I used it last season, and I really liked it there too, so I just built it again. There's a slight modification. I made it down here to keep all the adult villagers in one place, but it all pretty much was his idea, so that's not anything really important. But basically how this works is this farmer villager will harvest all these crops, throw them at the other villager. They make about 2 villagers a day. They fall down into that water stream, and then they get pushed into this area where they'll be stuck until they grow up, and then they'll be pushed into this hole, and all the adult villagers end up there. It's pretty simple. I like the design quite a bit, but we'll wait while it fills up a bit before we start on a trading hall or iron farm or anything else that involves villagers. I want to build something else. And to build this, I'm going to need, I think, quite a bit of wood, so we're going to have to chop down a few trees. But let me go ahead and explain what this build is. Over here by our fishing huts, we have some horses that I've been breeding up, and you'll remember from last episode that they are pretty fast. They're probably faster than this boat is, so why have I been using this boat to go back and forth to the village instead of these horses? Well, you see, there's a bit of a problem. While most of the area is on land and walkable, so you can take a horse through it, there's just one big river right here that slows you down quite a bit because you have to wade through here and pull your horse along, and it is just going to slow this whole process all the way down. So we're going to need a bridge right here from this fishing hut to this fishing hut. Of course, I don't want to mess around too much with their huts, so I will try to kind of back it up a little bit, maybe like to that tree right there, to this area. We'll see exactly where I put it, but the whole idea is that we need a bridge for our horses. So let's go ahead and gather some resources for that. I'm thinking we're going to need some jungle wood, some oak wood, maybe some spruce as well, and probably a couple of leaves. I'm thinking a couple of trees might be in order. We'll go ahead and get started on this, and we'll see what I come up with. Alright, we got all the resources we need. We just need to do one last thing before we actually make the bridge, and that's to plan this out a little better. I have no idea what I'm going to be building in this spot, so I need to at least get a shape made first. So I think I have plenty of dirt to use as kind of temporary blocks to plan out this shape. I don't really know what we're going to be doing, but I want to kind of match with the jungle a bit, so maybe some trees and stuff to kind of like hold up a rope bridge might look cool. We'll see. I think I'll just start placing dirt and kind of see where I end up. Well, it is just a bunch of dirt, but I think we have a few things going on here that will really help us out. We have these 2 lines on the top, which are supposed to look like trees leaning over the river, and then we have a couple lines holding up this bottom bit, which is going to be the actual bridge. I think that's enough planning to kind of go off of. A lot of this stuff is going to be moved around and changed, but just having the kind of general shapes and ideas kind of planned out first is going to help me quite a bit. we have everything we need, so let's go ahead and get started. You know, this is actually my first time doing palm trees in Minecraft. I mean, I probably have made a couple here and there for like build battle or something, but none that were like meant to actually look good. In build battle, you kind of just try to throw something together that vaguely resembles the subject, you know? But I think this actually looks nice. You have some nice shapes going on with the palm trees kind of leaning over to support the bridge with the ropes and everything. And I think it all just kind of fits in with the jungle and kind of coastal area we got going on here. Palm trees, of course, grow in kind of both environments in real life, and they kind of just match, general area. So I think it all kind of works together for a nice bridge here in this little spot. It was probably a little bit bigger of a project than I originally thought it would be because I kind of just didn't have any gauge on much time it took to build the tops of palm trees or anything like that, but I think it all works out pretty good. You can actually ride a mule on this without bumping into any of the fence posts or anything like that, so you can go full speed through here, and it's just so fast now. Getting to the village and back is like cut in half the amount of time, so it's just great. I like this bridge a lot. We definitely accomplished what we set out to do here, so I'm really happy with it. We won't be going to the village just yet for the rest of this episode because we don't have much time left in this episode, so I think we're pretty much done. I don't think I have too many more plans to do in this little area. Maybe building a path to the village, but that'll probably happen next episode. There's a couple other ideas I have for next episode too, like maybe building an iron farm or a trading hall, or maybe both. But we're definitely out of time for today. So thank you guys all for watching, and God bless.